My name is Gustavo Galindo, and I am a songwriter. The new album is called Renacer, which means reborn. And basically started when I moved down to Mexico City in 2012, and I loved it so much that I decided to stay. So my dad's side of the family is from Mexico, and my mom's side is from the States. And it was really my first time living in Mexico City as an adult, so I got to really experience the city in a new way, and I met a great bunch of friends and other artists and other like-minded bands, and during that whole process, a couple of different things happened to me that made me kind of realize that I needed to write an album again, which is one was that my daughter was born, and the other was that my mom passed away. And so those two things, between those two miracles of life and death, is really where I found the voice for this new album called Renacer, Reborn. And it was really interesting too because the first album I was a kid in my 20s, everything was innocence and possibilities, and this new album is a much more mature voice. There's a lot of voice that's been through the fires, been through life, loss, love, all the different elements of things, and so it's really interesting, that rebirth from boyhood to manhood really was part of what the album encapsulated as well.
Quiero empezar un mundo nuevo.
The first album, I was with a label at the time, and I, with a big producer, and I had an amazing experience, and I learned a lot, especially because there's a producer like Gustavo Santolaya, who is known for his soundtracks on Brokeback Mountain and Babel, and his work with artists like Juanes, and with this new album, because it's an independent album, I really was able to focus on making the sound that I wanted to create, so I am, it's basically encapsulating who I am as a person, this Mexican-American kid that's bilingual and bicultural. And I really found that sound on this album, combining those elements of country, of folk, of Mexican mariachi, folklorico, and kind of combining all those elements of what I am into one album. So I decided to call the style Chilangringo. So Chilango is someone that's from Mexico City, and obviously I'm half gringo, so it's kind of that combination of those two worlds to make this kind of sound, which makes, I think, my style pretty unique with the voice and the style of songwriting.
Sé que no existe un tren a las estrellas.
For this album, we recorded three different videos that we did in Mexico, and using all Mexican crew, and it's really inspiring to see the amount of talent that the country has and how much beauty it has too. We did one video called Un Paso al Día, which means one step a day, in this beautiful city called Guanajuato in Mexico. So it was really cool to be able to show off these amazing sights and these amazing, these beautiful cities that maybe not a lot of people know about. My good friend Jorge is a muralist and painter in Mexico City. He grew up in Tijuana, and together we kind of decided to make this world of the Renacer, the musical, the album, we make a world for the album based upon these kind of different totems and characters and alebrijes, in Mexico, which are kind of mystical beings that are like, that guide your soul onto the netherland. So really all these guys will represent different types of the songs or different feelings that come from the album, which is really cool. And Jorge is an amazing painter and muralist, and I was fortunate that he decided to help me make, the visual part of the music. Obviously, social media is a big part, but we're always super interactive with our fans. We like to maintain them part of the experience. And yeah, we're always putting out new videos on YouTube as well, and we'd love to come to any of your towns and cities and play for you. So please let us send us a message, and we'll make it happen.